Today we're back at the flip, the hoarder house full of wasps and nasty rotted wood and garbage and everything like that. And we're gonna see where we are in our original timeline. In the last video, I said that I was gonna make $20,000 in 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks. I have not made $20,000, but that's okay. So I'm checking in with the contractor. I brought Clint along with me to walk the house, see where we're at, and see if I'm gonna make $20,000 at all, which I hope I do.
You gotta see it for what it is instead of what it is, what it can be.
Yeah,
but man, she's not much.
There. Some other guys from the neighborhood came and tried to kick out the demo guy because it's their house. And they're like, hey, get out of here. This is my house. What are you doing? He's like, no, I don't think so. I was like, no, that's definitely incorrect because I'm the owner. And then she's like, oh, yeah, I don't know who those guys were then. And I was like, it's weird.
I hope we did a title check on this thing.
We did do a title check on this.
Ooh, bad look in here.
Well, it looks a lot better than it did about 2 weeks ago. I mean, there's asbestos in there somewhere.
No, actually, it's just some mold.
Oh, he said it was a drug addict that was just like in here.
¿Quién le va a hacer caso a una persona de esa?
Yeah, he said, who's gonna listen to a guy on drugs? He was like, he told him to leave.
No, sí.
There are a lot of wasps up there, so.
Oh, dude, yeah.
I would tread lightly. We got a little pup in the house. This is a squatter. He's been squatting in here for the past couple weeks. Well, I gotta say, impressively, this place is clean. I never thought ever in a million years that I'd be able to walk inside of this garage, dude. I'm telling you, he had like 8 dumpsters from this entire house. See that guy right there? He filled up 8 of them. That's crazy. Unsurprisingly, it still smells like a Goodwill in here.
Okay, so walk me through the strategy with this. Why isn't this a total teardown?
It does look like it. It's pretty rare that a teardown is actually a cheaper strategy than just remodeling what's here because you have so many components that are still usable. For example, the foundation, you wouldn't want to tear it down and like break down the foundation. It's here, you want to reuse what's here, and also you don't want to undergo the entire permit process of a new construction. That could kill your budget, that could kill your timeline by like 3 to 6 months.
That thing just landed on me.
Part of the experience,
If I get stung, I'll see you in court.
If I get stung, I will cry like a little baby. I freaking hate wasps. All right, so strategy basically is to clean up this place a little bit. Bought it for 75,000 bucks. We're putting about 30 grand into it to just completely do what you're seeing here, which is like, we're gonna fix the roof, basically put a brand new roof on it. We're gonna junk everything out. We're gonna strip out any of the mold, any of the drywall, and basically make it so that a rehabber can come and buy this from us for 130 grand, put 70 grand into it, get it all nice and ready. Like, it's not gonna be a premium house, right? Like, you have to understand what part of town we're in. Like, this isn't like an A-class neighborhood per se, but it's a decent neighborhood. So a rehabber will come in and buy it for me for 130. The rehabber will put in about 70,000, putting them all in at 200K, and then they'll sell it to someone for like 230, 245, somewhere in there. So they'll make like a $30,000 profit on their $70,000 rehab budget.
And why don't you want to just rehab it?
Because basically I can get in and out of this project in 2 weeks and make 20 grand, or I could be in this entire project for like 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 months and make 40 or 50,000. So for me, like, time value money doesn't make sense. There's too much risk. There's too much risk in the market to hold on to this for that long. I'd rather just make my $20,000 and roll to the next one. So one thing that the contractor Luis was saying, like,
rule number 1 in flipping, don't open the fridge ever.
You never want to open the refrigerator in a deal like this because it's like full of nasty stuff. And I was really curious. I did want to do it on camera, but it's gone. So I guess you're welcome for that.
Oh man, there's one like right there.
Where?
There's like a nest. Here, let me hit that thing.
No. Yep, here's the wasp. I hate this.
It's like we're in one giant nest.
It's like I'm obviously not meant for this life. I can't even walk in this house. To answer your question about flipping it, there's a chance that I might have to. Like, if we get into this, we're like, oh,
yeah.
We bit off more than we could chew.
You know it's built well when none of the beams are actually...
None of the beams down here like are actually attached to the ground.
Are actually providing
like,
any
literally
support.
None of them. But see, they'll come in, anything that's salvageable, they will salvage. We'll have to ask Luis when he gets here what went according to plan and what hasn't gone according to plan. All right, how can they redo the roof? Tearing off the roof seems like it would just crumble everything. Optimism is still existent. It's just less than it was before. We'll do it. We'll make it work. He already gave me the budget. Since this has happened, he said the trash ended up being a little bit more expensive than he thought. Be aight. Well, look who decided to show up.
Crazy, man. Did you guys see the inside already?
We did see the inside.
Bananas. It took 6 dumpsters. This is dumpster number 6.
See that guy right there? He filled up 8 of them. Yeah, so walk us through how this is not a total teardown.
Yeah, there's quite a few studs not attached to the ground. It's bananas. You know, we anticipated some to be like this. Didn't anticipate all this on this side to be that way. You know, we did put some fluff in our bid for the framing part, so.
It was always part of the plan to just sort of fix some of the framing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Just not necessarily this much.
From a budget standpoint, I think we're on point still. We're still on track. So one of the reasons I felt pretty confident in doing the remodel here was I've done several projects like this in similar condition, and when I looked up and saw the rafters, which now it's pretty clear to see, a lot of them are still super intact. The siding was incredibly intact. What you're looking at is damage from the water pooling on the inside, which we imagine there's going to be some issues in here. It's still salvageable, still workable.
Yeah, shabby chic to a new
It's
level.
shabby chic to a new level, that's right. And it even comes with the dog. What's up, little pup? Much of the wiring and plumbing is salvageable?
Absolutely none.
Is the goal for this type of thing to make it so clean that a rehabber comes in day one and starts sheetrocking, or like starts like electrical and plumbing?
Yeah, the idea is to get rid of the unknown here. So when you saw it, if you look back at the previous clip, if you saw what it looked like before,
oh boy, it was bad.
It was a madhouse.
Yeah.
So the idea is you want somebody to look at this predictably and say, this is exactly what I'm walking into. And we solved a problem by junking this out, by making it structurally sound. The next flipper that comes in, they won't look at this looking at it like, what am I getting myself into? Instead, they know exactly what they're working on.
Very cool. They literally know that they can effectively budget out every single thing without a surprise.
Exactly.
At this point, right?
At this point,
okay.
yeah.
We've already opened the walls and like exposed all the bad stuff.
Exactly.
So are you removing all the dry? I noticed that you only cut like some of this drywall like halfway.
As you can see down here, this base plate is totally rotted through. So we're actually going to take this out, replace the base plate, and we're going to remove the studs that are really, really damaged, like you see over here.
This is the most damaged stud
Where they're
I've
not-
ever come across right here.
But some of the studs where they're not as damaged, which we're starting to uncover now, some of them that are not as damaged, we'll actually just sandwich the new 2x4 on with the old 2x4, replace the base plate, should be good to go.
Is it going to be clean in here? Like, are you going to vacuum up and have it like spotless, or is that their job?
Ideally, yeah, it's cleaned up more than what it is.
Okay, cool, yeah. I just wasn't sure if like it's kind of like, hey, we did a pretty good job. Now it's up to you. Are we actually replacing the entire roof, or are we just replacing the broken plywood?
No. We're gonna rip off the entire roof. I think in our scope when we were looking at it, originally we were gonna replace some of the plywood. I think we're just gonna go ahead and replace all the plywood. So right now what we're doing today is we're actually taking off the soffit and the fascia so that we can actually place the roof down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, is there any chance that when you remove the roof, the entire house collapses in on itself because it's barely standing now?
No, actually we're removing weight from the house, so it's no.
Okay.
I mean, unless we're just jumping up and down up there. So our goal is to demo what we can outside.
Yep. I love it.
can
That's
hear
all
that
great.
buzzing.
That's all great stories. Love all of it.
We'll reinforce what we're doing up top and then get to work on it.
And we got this beautiful built-in. All right, let's go.
So yeah, our goal is to reinforce what we have on the inside, demo what we can on the fascia soffit now, and then come back, do the roof, and repair the frame.
Let's go outside to see where this house is going to take us. All right. From a marketing standpoint, though, it did make sense. We were talking about coming in and even taking professional photos.
Absolutely.
Of this, right? So that does make sense. If it could be clean, we can get nice photos. I mean, I can take the photos. I guess they don't have to be that nice. They just have to be better than cell phone.
Sure.
It's not like we're actually staging like an HD TV like spread in here. But I feel like even professional photos here, all cleaned up, someone will come in and be like, oh, easy, straightforward job.
It's not gonna. We're not gonna stage it with restoration hardware.
No, probably
furniture.
not. We're trying to restore the hardware. Like and
Literal.
subscribe for that one. We're taking hardware restoration to a new level. Do these guys just have like the thickest skin from being stung by 1,000 wasps? Do they not want to just kill all the wasps in the house?
Actually, yesterday we actually bought some wasp killer. Like it's on my Home Depot receipt somewhere.
That should be step one, in my opinion. Freaking kill every wasp in existence and their families. Leave no prisoners.
We actually found a lot of stuff in junk out, man. There was live firearms as
Oh, you
promised.
did actually
we
find it?
did find live
It wasn't
firearms.
those lawn chairs?
For all I know, this could be a gun. I don't know.
That looks like a lawn chair to me, but
Yeah, it could be.
you know.
It wasn't the lawn chairs. The guy, whoever lived here, was incredibly smart. Had hundreds of books. Found sex toys in there. It was crazy.
Would you just out of curiosity, what'd you do with them?
I can't disclose that.
I think we might have found one of the sex toys. We definitely found one.
We got one more week to finish everything up, and then about another week to clean it up, list it, photograph it, do all that kind of stuff. So about a month-long project on this. Budget still looking like we're gonna be around 30,000 on a $75,000 acquisition. So I'll be all in 105K. List this sucker for 130?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep.
Why'd you shudder a little bit? Why'd you look like that?
I didn't know it.
Please don't talk in my video. So about $130,000 will be the list price. I still think we're on track to make 20 grand. I didn't make the $20,000 in 2 weeks, but $20,000 in 4, 5, not that bad. Really isn't. So follow along, and I'll keep you updated on how this one actually shakes out. So far though, we're on track. Catch you on the next episode of Rob Hill.